there, my name is Caitlin. I am a Midwest artist. This is Pistachio. Yes, thank you, Pistachio. I'm a Midwest artist who loves to read, and welcome to my first reading vlog. I haven't had a 5-star read since September. It is the end of January as I'm recording this, and that's been driving me a little nuts. I found like a couple books that were close to a 5-star read, but it just hasn't quite gotten to that level yet. So this reading vlog, I'm gonna do my darndest to find a 5-star read. I love books that talk about grief. I love graphic novels. I love books told in like unique perspectives. I like stuff that's a little bit weird. There's 3 books that I have in my TBR, which we'll see if I keep because I'm a huge mood reader. These are books that I have a good feeling I could give a 5-star to. The first one is The Summer Hikaru Died, Volume 1 by Mokumokuren. This is a book I got around this summer. Haven't gotten around to it yet, but basically it is the summary of it. I'm gonna read the back here. It has Hikaru's face, it has Hikaru's voice, it even has Hikaru's memories, but whatever came down from the mountain 6 months ago isn't Yoshiki's best friend. Whatever it is, it's dangerous. Carrying on school and hanging out as if nothing has changed, as if Hikaru isn't gone, would be crazy. But when it looks so very like Hikaru and acts so very like Hikaru. So it's not like a typical like horror story where it's gonna be like a whole bunch of jump scares and stuff like that. There's a lot of like thought-provoking like moments from my impression of the book. And my gosh, this art is like so nice too. I mean, just even look at this like end paper here. Look at that. That is so cool. So yes, I feel like I could potentially give a 5-star to this, but since it is like the first volume of a like a manga, it usually if I do series like that, it's a little bit harder for me to give a 5 stars. So we'll see. The second book in my TBR, it is called Walking Practice by Dolki Min. It is translated by Victoria Caudle. Essentially, this book is told from the point of view of an alien that's crash landed on Earth and their travels and adventures here on Earth. But it's not like a lighthearted book. It's more of a spooky, unsettling book. I saw this at the indie bookstore, and I was enamored by this cover art. Isn't it so cool? And there's some interior illustrations as well. I feel like this would be a really, really fun perspective to read about. And the third book in my TBR is Girl Juice by Benji Nate. I really wanted to get into Benji Nate's graphic novels. They've done a lot of different things. This is the one that intrigued me the most because, first of all, look at the colors. Is so beautiful. I love the art style that Nate does, and it's just told from the points of view of a group of girls that live in an apartment together, and it's really funny. When I've like flipped through this a little bit, it gets kind of weird at the end, which I am totally down for. And again, gosh, look at this cover art, so good. So yes, I feel like this could potentially be a 5-star read for me. That is the initial lineup. Again, I'm such a mood reader that I might just change my mind, switch to other things. I also read a lot of books, like multiple books at the same time, so I might try to... Oh my gosh, dog! My dog just yeeted his bone. My gosh, you've never done that before. But anyway, what was I talking about? I'm a mood reader. I read multiple books at the same time, so I might switch back and forth like during this reading vlog, what I read, what I start with. The month of February, the month of love, I'm going to find a book I love. Let's do this. Hello. First, I want to shout out to the girly online who said claw clips are the best tripod for your phone, and ta-da, it's perfect. I love it. Anyway, I have a reading update for you all. So today's February 1st. Today was going to be the official month of finding a 5-star read. However, a couple days ago, I finished the audiobook for The Adventures of Amina, al-Sirafi, and it's a 5-star read. I wasn't expecting that. I think it's because since it's like such a popular book, I wasn't expecting, I guess, to find it like fantastic. I thought it was just gonna be very just enjoyable. And when I like listened to like the last bit of it, I was like, okay, this is perfect. I have to rate this as a perfect 5-star read. It's just like the characters in that book are so good. I just love everyone's dynamic. And it's like, even with an audiobook, I laughed out loud multiple times. I was not expecting it to be funny. It was so good. And anyway, I am so excited to, I'm gonna buy a physical copy of it since I got it from the library on audio, and I cannot wait to reread it in the future. And that's my laundry. I will be right back. I'm back. Anyway, as I was talking about, so this video now has a slightly different approach. Instead of trying to find a 5-star read, I'm gonna see how many 5-star reads I'm gonna find during the month of February. Updates. I picked up Girl Juice by Benji Nate, and I am loving it so far. It's really fantastic. Basically, the best way to describe it is the first like 2/3 of the book are like a series of like 1-page comics about these girls, around like college age girls that all share an apartment. Gross girl humor, if that's the best way to describe it. Like this book is like darkly funny, which to me that's kind of like a hit or miss, but I am enjoying it so far. It kind of reminds me of like the scene in the Barbie movie, like where Barbie's like, oh, do you guys ever think about death? But instead of it like everyone just like gawking at her, like, what are you talking about? Like they're just gonna like kind of like talk about it for a second and then like turn it into like a funny quip at the end. But like the art is, I love it. It is so good. Let me just show you a page. I love the colors. I love the figures. And I don't know, I think this is a really nicely created comic. If you want to like read about like messy, chronically online girls, this would probably be your best bet. It is, again, dark, and like the humor is can be more on the like the naughtier side. So just keep that in mind, but I am loving it so far. The way like I like to think about these girls is like, or at least the main girl, yeah, her name is Bunny, so like keep that in mind. The main girl is Bunny, which is her right here. She's like kind of giving me like Lumpy Space Princess vibes, where she has like a valley girl type, always like, again, chronically online, very much cares about like her figure and her looks, but there's like an edge of like really like a darkness to her that's kind of scary, and that just makes this book like so much more interesting, since she has, it's not like just like a, oh, I like pretty things, you know, which you know, if you just like pretty things, that's totally fine, but it, like for like a novel, like to having that like darker aspect to her, I am really interested in that. Kind of splits off into like 2 different sections. Like the first 2/3 of it are like 1-page comics about these girls and their like little adventures that they do, and then like the last third, it turns into like a mini graphic novel where, again, this kind of describes the whole feeling about the book. It's called Tallulah's Demon, which my understanding of Benji Nate's work, she does a lot of more like traditional graphic novels, so like to me it makes sense that there would be a section in here that's more of like a classic longer story, but it was really cool to see her like try like 1-page comics, because that requires like a different skill set of writing to it too. Come here. Hi, buddy. Easy, I just camera. Yeah. Hello again. I know I'm wearing the same exact thing. It's another day. Trust me. Also, beautiful angle, right? I am updating you all about Girl Juice. It is a 5-star. It is so good. If there's like a book that like I want to read like so many more adventures of, I'm so satisfied with like the ending of everything, but I still want more. Perfect. Do you remember when I was saying like this book talks about people that are chronically online? Well, that last part, like the more graphic novel portion of it, that's basically it. Also, it's a commentary of like people vlogging their lives, and I'm like, I'm trying that now. Uh-oh. Whoopsie. But yes, I love Girl Juice. Please go read Girl Juice. It is fantastic. Hello, reading update. So I started reading Walking Practice a few days ago. I am liking it so far. The point of view is really interesting. It's again a point of view of an alien who's on Earth, just trying to it's like so far just continue living on Earth, and in order to do that they have to get food. And it's been interesting like hearing about this alien trying to like keep in like a human form, like how hard it is for them. I'm in like 18, is it 18? Yeah, 18 pages so far in it, and the main chunk of it is like how much like transportation is a struggle for this alien. This alien, right now we know that they look like a woman, and they're meeting up with a man to have a date. That's the nice way to phrase it. This alien is like on the subway, nervous because they have some like their murder utensils in their backpack, and they have to carry that heavy lot with them. They have to go up so many stairs. God, so many stairs. That's the one thing I'm noticing so far, is that sometimes it like drags a little bit, because like just hearing this alien describe multiple times about like I have to go up the stairs in the subway so I can leave the subway station, and then they're at this apartment and the elevator is not working, so they have to figure out how to go up 16 flights of stairs, but they need to in order to survive, so they can meet up with this person. But again, it's like going on and on about like, okay, what do I do? Like I have to go 1 foot up on this stair, 1 foot on this other stair, and it drags a little bit. But again, it's a really interesting point of view. It's a little bit crass at some points too, which it's kind of funny, but it's not expected. Like sometimes there's like swear words, which I'm not sure if an alien would necessarily use like human swear words a lot. Interesting study, like a character study, and I will report back to you once I get more through it. I'm on page 40 of Walking Practice, and my thoughts have changed on this book. It's really interesting. We're nearing like the end of like this date scene with this alien and this like person they found, and yeah, it's getting morbid like you think. But like there's also like it's kind of like a stream of consciousness sort of writing, where like it just back and forth, and it's been revealed that this alien has been on Earth for like around like 11 years. They crash landed after probably their planet exploded, and like all their family and friends are now gone and dead. So they've been on here for 11 years learning how to like fend for themselves, to be human in a way, not only just so they can survive, but also because they really just want love and which is kind of like a beautiful but also really sad thing. Like this alien is like all by themselves in the world now, and they can't connect with people because they aren't people. They're not human. And that's like so many times where this book is just repeating where it's like I want love. I'm talking like this alien's talking to us. It's like I love you, and I just feel so sad for this alien, and like also just describing like the types of love that they want, of like having that typical like couple experience of celebrating an anniversary, walking and seeing like cherry blossoms together. It just makes my heart hurt in a way, which I was not expecting from this book, which was really interesting. So the illustrations in this book, I read the author bio at the end. It's his first book, but he's an artist, like forefront, like that's his main thing. So like all the illustrations in the book and the cover art, that's all his own work, which I'm just like, whoa. It kind of reminds me of, I think, Chlorine with Jade San. She's a artist, I think, first, and then that's their very first novel that they did, and I'm obsessed with Chlorine. That's my favorite book of 2023, and so as of this moment, I don't think this is gonna be like up there because, oh god, the stairs scene that took that took me out of it so badly, but I was able to zoom past that, and I'm really, really enjoying this book so far. Hello again. I'm a little bit dressed up today because I had a meeting with a past professor of mine. I'm going through my quarter-life crisis right now. And I just needed advice on my artwork and my art career, and she provided lots of good feedback about my portfolio on my website. So that's gonna be a lot of work, but good work to do. I now have like a good plan as to what steps I need to do next, and then long term what my next steps are, which very fantastic. We met at a cafe here in town, Cafe DM, which is one of my favorite cafes here in Ames. This is so good. And then since I was on Main Street, aka my favorite place in Ames, I love Main Street so much, I decided to go to my favorite indie bookstore, which is Dog-Eared Books, which you saw some clips for that. And I bought The Princess in the Grilled Cheese Sandwich, which is a book I've read last year. I gave it 4 stars. It's really good. I thought it was a little bit like cheesy at some points, like with the writing and stuff like that, but the art, like holy cow, man, like look at this character art. It was on the used bookshelf at Dog-Eared, which I'm on a like slight book buying ban. I have way too many books on my TBR shelf, on my physical TBR shelf. My plan for reducing the books that I buy is that I can't buy any full price books until my TBR shelf is greatly managed. Tomorrow I'm planning on going to the Des Moines area just for a little fun day to go to a couple of bookstores. I'm going to go to Story House Book Pub, which is a bookstore I discovered last year during Indie Bookstore Day. I had like a whole fun journey of just like driving all around like the central Iowa area, like buying books from indies and discovering them. So I'm gonna go to them because they now have a used book section, which is very exciting. So I'll probably find some there. And then there's I recently learned about a new indie bookstore that's like it opened like yesterday, like Friday, like early February is when I'm recording this. I think it's called like Little Bookshop Des Moines or something like that. A bookstore that specializes in youth books and also like youth toys, I believe. They have baby to young adult items there. So I'm just gonna take a peek at there. If there's something that really catches my fancy, I'll break my not buying any new full price books because I obviously want to support an indie bookstore, right? And like they just opened, so like, yeah, that makes sense to me. Reading updates. I'm not sure where I last talked about this book. I know I was talking about like this book was getting more interesting and stuff like that. I basically finished up the first section. It was like a typical day for this alien and what they do to try to survive and like their current thoughts and feelings about things. And I'm really intrigued. I'm on like the second section, which I like to flip through books a lot just to be like, ooh, that seems kind of interesting. Can't wait to get that section. But it seems like each section is like a lower height, 56 kilometers, and the second section is 37 kilometers. And then I noticed that it eventually goes down to 0 kilometers. And I'm like, what does that mean? That's kind of interesting. But yeah, so basically the first section ended with like the alien going back to their house, which is their basically modified spaceship. It's interesting how like kind of similar it is to like a human house. Like they even have a TV so they can listen to like humans talking and stuff like that. But like there's obviously some different things too, and descriptions of like what their actual like alien form looks like were quite interesting. I was kind of surprised by how brightly colored the alien was, and it's basically the alien was described as like having yellow skin with red polka dots, and they also have like a blue fur like somehow on their body and like a shield like thing here. I'm just like, ooh, that is not exactly what I was expecting for an alien. It seems very crazy. But yeah, so I'm curious to see where the book goes from here. I'm now like about like halfway through with it. I'm gonna see if I can get a chunk done of it today. I saw this book at Dog-Eared. There's actually a staff recommended tag with it, and they said it was the best book they read last year in 2023. I'm like, ooh, oh shit, okay. That's kind of encouraging to see that someone else really, really enjoys this book, because I haven't really heard anyone online talk about this book at all, or like on Bookstagram and stuff like that. So yeah, I think this is going to be a good book for me. So I'll update you whenever I feel like it. All right, bye. I hope you enjoyed my trip to Des Moines. It was very fun. It was very refreshing to go on a little shopping spree. I kind of broke my rule and I bought some new books, but you know what? Like book collecting and book reading, two separate hobbies, and I enjoyed myself. And I didn't have the best week this past week, so having something refreshing, going to places I don't often get to go to. I'm also like doing like a redo self-care day that I tried to do in January. My dog has been having some separation anxiety, and to like quickly bop back from that day in January because he was just barking the entire time I was gone. And so he's on like some new medication, and like with talks with my therapist and whatnot, I have to like let go, understand that I'm away from him and it's just in a separate location. I can't do anything when I'm gone away from him. I'm feeling better. I'm feeling good. So let's do a little haul, all right? Oh yes, so this first bag, I went to the little book in Des Moines. Here is their information. It was their opening weekend, and it's a really cute little shop. I think they're still very much like getting all situated. They have a smaller stock of books because books are pretty freaking expensive, right? But they also have a lot of like cute like mugs, stationery. Got two things from the little book in Des Moines. I got this graphic novel called Shadow Life, and I think with like the shopping spree, I want to dig deep into like my niche interests, right? To like there's books that are popular online, and then like there's books I randomly find but that I might like take a chance with, or it's like something to branch out of my comfort zone. But I think this reading vlog is like reminding me I need to go back to my niches and like enjoy books that I really speak to me, right? So the Shadow Life, the catchline is when death comes too soon, fight dirty. So it's about this older woman who moves to like a assisted living situation, but she does not like it. She's lying to her family that she's leaving the assisted living situation. And when she does that, apparently death tries to take her away, and it doesn't happen. So it's kind of like her escaping death, and like the conversations around her family with how she wants to live like the end of her life there. Like this seems straight up my alley. Gotta love a good art style, cartoony art style, so that's pretty great. The second thing I got there is a mug. Do I need more mugs? No, but it seems the message on the mug is what I'm trying to channel these past few weeks, trying to deal with my anxiety and whatnot. It says, be kind to your mind. And having that as a little morning reminder, I think that would be really nice for me. Next up, there's a couple of like cute stores next to the little bookshop that I went to. And so I went to the Art Terrarium, which look how cute this t-shirt is. I had to get it. I was not expecting to take home this little guy, but isn't it so cute? Next place I went to the Storyhouse Book Pub, which is an indie bookstore in the East Village in Des Moines that I discovered last year, and I just really adore them. I was originally just going to look at their used book section that they have, that they recently got put in place in their bookstore. I looked at it. There were good books, good selected books in their used book section. However, not ones that I'm personally interested in. And then I think I just went insane when I was there. And I was just like, you know what, screw it. I'm just gonna buy a whole bunch of books. It makes me happy, I'm gonna do it. Are books getting more and more expensive? Yes, they are. However, do I love books? Yes. So the books I got, two that were on my TBR previously, and then one I just discovered there, and it just seems really cool. The first one is Refusing Compulsory Sexuality, a Black Asexual Lens on Our Sex-Obsessed Culture. Personally, as I identify as ace, I want to read everything about asexuality and stuff like that. So, oh, and it's by Sharonda J. Brown. There you go. Next up, I have Social Fiction. I know nothing about this. It's by Chantal Montelier, translated by Jeffrey Brock. It's a graphic novel. It basically kind of describes itself as like the 80s, 90s, like rebel punk style. It's like dystopian. I think it's like a series of like short comic stories. Oh, and I think I might need to help my dog. Hold on. Do you need attention? Is that what you're telling me? First off, I love anything about like art history plus feminism. That I love to read books like that. I love to take notes on books like that. I love to do a lot of feminist art pieces. I feel like it would be a great research book for me. What is this book? It is Art Monsters, Unruly Bodies in Feminist Art by Lauren Elkin. So it's a series of essays that talk about different artists about their works and how it's perceived by the public. Lastly, I went to the mall, which with my social anxiety on a weekend can be panic inducing. So, but I did good. For what I was able to do, I did good. So I went to Yankee Candle and got myself a candle. My pair of jeans that I wore like I think yesterday just absolutely beefed it. It is ripped to all hell, and I needed a new pair of jeans. So I realized that they have a Madewell at the mall now in Des Moines. So I've always been curious about them. They're more sustainable, more dedicated to like higher quality clothing that lasts a while. So I got myself a really nice pair of jeans there. They have like these cute like I don't know what to call it, like sections to them. They're like a 90s style pair of high-waisted jeans, and it's definitely more on the expensive side. With my clothing, there's like 3 realms to it. I was just thinking about this on the way home. 1, it's higher quality pieces that can last me a long time. 2, thrifted from like Goodwill, mostly just like Goodwill and places like that. And then 3, graphic tees, all ranges of like prices and quality to them. So like those 3 realms are like the type of clothes that I get normally. I'm excited for this pair of jeans. They feel so good, and like when I was checking myself in the mirror, like I was like, oh, these are so good. Like these like look really nice on me. Check the price. I was like, oh, are they that good? And after thinking about it, I'm like, yeah, I think they're that good. Lastly, I just stopped by Barnes & Noble because I don't have a Barnes & Noble here in town. I have Books A Million and then my favorite indie bookstore. So I was like, you know, it's great. Let's just go to Barnes & Noble to see what they have. And I found this on one of their display tables. It's called Organ Meats by K. Min Chain. This reading vlog is me diving deep into like getting into my niche interests, and one of my niche interests is just weird books. And specifically weird books about girls. The selling point of this is that there are women who are purposely wanting to turn into dogs, specifically like either having a dog body or a dog head. And like one of the main character's friends wants to basically turn into this dog person and wants their other best friend to do that as well. And this book is an exploration of that, which I'm just like, you know what, sign me up. Like even more so with like the first sentence of this book. In the center of summer, soft with rot, Rainey and I decided to be dogs. Like, come on, man, like really? That's insane. This is basically the end of Caitlin Has Retail Therapy. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next time when I read more of my books. Okay, bye. Hello, good evening. Just finished walking practice and it's a 5-star read. I am so surprised by that. I won't go, it's such a short novel. I'm not going to go too much into detail about the rest of the plot. I thought it was incredible. I thought it was crazy. The translator's note at the very end really like ties it together, like all the themes and the points of the novel, of it being exploration of gender and sexuality, of like wondering about your identity and not fitting in with society, but wanting to have connection in society. It like thread all the lines together and it works out so incredibly well. I am so impressed by it. It's it's such an interesting book. It's one of those books that I will think about for a while, and I can't wait to reread it in the future and like annotate the heck out of it. This is just a crazy book, so I'm very pleased. All right, here's the next book. Hello. This is my final reading update and review of everything I read. I finished up The Summer Hikaru Died, Volume 1 and Volume 2. I was able to find Volume 2 at the library. And I am very intrigued with this series. I'm very excited to read more volumes of it in the future. I don't think I can consider it a 5-star for either books yet, which in hindsight, I expected it. Again, I don't usually like rate manga volumes like 5 stars until like maybe the very end of the series, and then it's more of a 5 stars for the whole entire series. But anyway, I'm very intrigued with the series. There's lots of layers to it. Again, this story is about a boy named Hikaru who's not actually a boy named Hikaru. Hikaru was alive, but now he died, and now this creature is taking his place. It's kind of like an opposite to like walking practice, where like the alien here has been like searching for connections and cannot find connections. With the summer Hikaru died, the creature that is Hikaru wants to basically emulate Hikaru's life, have the same amount of love that he had before he died. The main character of this series, which I think Yoshiki is his name. It's this dude. So the main guy, like, he knows that Hikaru is not Hikaru, and but they have a really layered like relationship, like a deep friendship from childhood, and now maybe into something more. But it's complicated because Hikaru is not Hikaru, but the main character still really adores, really respects Hikaru, or like at least the idea of him. So he's trying to like battle these ideas of like, I want to have continue this relationship with Hikaru because I miss him so much, but also like, who is this being that is now Hikaru? It really goes into like relationships and like relationships with creatures that aren't actually human but want to be human so badly. Other things we learned about these two books is I understand like the story structure of it more. So like there's the main mystery of like, what is Hikaru and what happened to Hikaru, basically what led this creature to replace Hikaru's existence, essentially. Major plot line where apparently since this creature who is Hikaru is now emulating someone, they left the forest where they were living, and now it's opened up the floodgates for all the like creepy stuff to escape into the forest. So there's a lot of kind of like mini stories of like them encountering like creatures out there in the woods, and like it's now invading like the rest of the town. So like we get more horror elements from that, other than like the interactions between Hikaru and his the main character friend. There's a dynamic of where certain people can see these supernatural things and other people cannot. And there's one middle-aged lady who encounters the main character, and she can tell that the main character is interacting with a being that's not his friend anymore, because she's had personal experience with this kind of being emulating her husband, and it ended poorly for them. It's like a town curse, essentially. So that's what like Hikaru is, and I think I'm very intrigued as to where the rest of the story is going to go. When I looked online, I think there's currently 4 volumes out. That's like translated into English. I'm gonna give volume 3 as soon as my library orders it. That'd be very great. And yeah, so I would rate like the first and the second books both like a 4.5 out of 5. And then at the very end of the series, I have a gut instinct that I probably will give it a 5-star read. I am quite pleased with this video experiment of finding 5-star reads, because I was very much in a rut of reading. So here is the spread of books again. Okay, I think that's good for a thumbnail. Yeah, I'm very pleased with the choices I picked for this 5-star read search, including Adventures of Amina, al-Sirafi, which was an unintentional inclusion into this video, but that's such a great book. I've learned that if I'm in a rut, I need to go deep down into my niches as to what interests me, which is like character exploration, maybe a little bit of dark horror elements. I like interesting character studies like Walking Practice and The Summer Hikaru Died, things like that. And yeah, so I kept thinking about like what I'm gonna read next after I've done this 5-star search, and I like at first I was like, oh, I'm gonna have so much anxiety with like picking up my next read, like, oh, is it gonna be like a good another 5-star read for myself? And like I can pump the brakes. I know the best solution is I'm going to read my book club's next choice, and I don't think it's gonna be a 5-star, so it's already like calmed my anxieties about trying to find like another 5-star read. Thank you for joining me on my first reading vlog. This was pretty fun. Yeah, so please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe to help support my channel in this little endeavor I'm doing this year. So yeah, again, thank you for watching. Bye-bye.